Welcome to part 2 of the Amiga 500 repair series, where I have 4 Amiga 500s. I fixed up the broken parts on the cases, which I will show you later. And I propped up board number 2, which has no controller on the mouse port, at least as far as I could see, because I had no keyboard attached, so I couldn't run an Amiga test kit properly. So now I have a keyboard attached and no idea if it works. It's one of the grubby keyboards which came with the machines. So the keyboard is here, disk drive is there, which is an original disk drive which came with the machines, which works. I also epoxied all the eject buttons back on the drives, so we have 4 drives with eject buttons, which is good. Let's start an Amiga test kit. I have attached a joystick, a mouse, and let's see if the mouse works mysteriously or not, and what the joystick does and all that stuff. Okay, let's start machine number 2 it is. And I have Amiga test kit in the disk drive, so that should give it a spin, and it does, which is good. So mouse, no mouse, which is not a problem because we have a keyboard now. Yay! Let's do memory check first. Let's test all memory, see what it does. So at least the F1 key is working. So control left Amiga to get out of there, and that works too. Let's check the keyboard. Strange. Let's check all the keys. We have a working keyboard, which is awesome, like that. Let's do audio. Yeah. There is something missing. That does not sound right. Music off. That's normal. Yeah, it's ticking a little, but it's very faint. Also faint. Yeah, that is not correct, I would say. Okay, sound doesn't sound correct. Let's check a video. Let's check the gradient. RGB looks good. Let's check the CIAs, at least the precision timers. Looks good. All tests passed. Good. So up to the final test, which is the controllers for which we are here. No. Okay, we have the mouse, which does not do anything. Oh, the mouse buttons do work. And hey, what's that? If I push the button and move the mouse, something is happening. Interesting. Okay, so how about joystick? Joystick works just fine, and mouse moved a little whenever I push the button. Okay. Okay, let's take a closer look at the board, I think. So it seems this board has 2 problems. The first being that the mouse movement doesn't register. And I already did put in one good CIA, which I know of is good. Not sure if the CIAs are actually dead or not. have no idea, so I just switched one out to try and see if it does change anything. And we seem to have a problem with Paula, who is responsible for the sound. So 8364 and 8364. So let's maybe switch that out. Yeah, that is much hotter than the other chips, so I assume there's a short in the chip here. And let's take a look at the board here. So we have, oh wait, I think I spot something. Let me, EMI 401 looks like there has been a component before, but it's not anymore. Let me check for other missing components here. So EMI 401 seems to be missing. What should be here? So according to the internets and schematics for the Rev 5 boards, there should be a 5.1 ohm resistor on this place. So I assume without this resistor we won't get any mouse movement. So we have a dead Paula, supposedly, or at least a marginal. And just for giggles, I'm going to solder in that EMI 401 and see what happens. Now we'll just put it on top, so yeah, no harm done. It's in. Looks funny. Might work. I don't know. Let's start it up again and see what happens. And of course I will make it nice and so on, if it works. Right into test kit, and hey, look at that. Isn't that just great? Mouse movement is there again. Let's check audio. Yeah, that sounds correct. Okay, it seems like we just fixed the Rev 5 board. Good. Good. So I did put in the original CIA and that works just fine too. So can't see any other faults here. It just works. Okay, I set up board number 1, plugged in a mouse and a joystick. Let's start this up. And I have Amiga test kit put in the drive. Nicely ticking away. So let's see, let's maybe, oh, what's that? Okay, you can already see that the mouse is moving strangely. Clearly have a mouse problem here, because I know this is a good working mouse. Yeah, it doesn't work. So this could be a CIA problem? Question mark. Let me check. I already sorted in this resistor here. I did try different CIAs, which doesn't do anything, so put in the original CIAs. Yeah, let's fire up Amiga test kit and see what it does. Let's see what we have. Let's check memory. Looks good. Keyboard, we don't need the keyboard, we don't need the floppy, we need the controller ports. Let's check audio first. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. That is how it's supposed to sound. Video, RG and B, yeah, hey, nicey. CIAs. Try these. Yeah, all passed. Nice. And finally the controllers. And if we move the mouse, oh, that is what happens. The mouse just goes to the lower left corner. Left mouse button doesn't work, right mouse button does work. Let's check the joystick. Oh, that's interesting. When I go down, it always selects 2 and go up the same. Right, left, doesn't do anything. Buttons do work fine. Okay, so that actually does tell us something, which is that the fault must be in a component that combines the data from the mouse and the joystick, or it would be a hard coincidence when both of these components have failed at the same time. So I assume somewhere on the schematics there must be a component that where the directional information of the mouse, port 1, and the directional information of the joystick, port 2, meet. Let's find that component. Yeah, believe it or not, same fault. So this was not the problem. So let's see where these lines go next. So this is the RP401, which connects these two here and then goes here. So yeah, my little whoopsie that I didn't see that this actually was probably the part that is bad. So since I didn't have one, I went and got another A500, which is a black screen, which was, I think, board number 3 from another lot, and I just desoldered this here. It's the same color, even it's blue, and these seem to be hard to find in a 10-pin version. So yeah, most importantly, this dot indicates the pin number 1, so I have to desolder this from here, put this in, and then we'll see if it works. New old resistor network is soldered in, so maybe we are lucky this time. Let's see. The mouse is here. Let's see. No, it's the same fault. That's impossible. Switched out this one, the RP401, which is a resistor network. Switched out this LS chip. So let's check what's next in line. So with just a few single resistors or coils in between, the knees is our last spot where we can actually do something, and if it's not here, I have really no clue where it could be. So there was actually an error of thinking. I had a C64 in mind. When I thought that the joysticks go to the CIA, but that doesn't seem to be the case here, or at least the mouse does not. So I had an error of thinking when I thought that the CIA was the last stop for the signals coming from here. So let me just put a fresh, hopefully fresh Denise in here. Okay, moment of truth. My error of thinking was that the signals from here go over here somehow magically and end here, but they actually end in the Denise. And so I switched out the Denise, and then I started the machine, and it's the same result. It just wouldn't work. So let's quickly check if that is actually true. Yeah. Same fault as before. I'm out of ideas for now. So I did put one Amiga together. Keys are still in a warm and soapy bath, so we'll put them back on there. But you can see this is a Samsung keyboard, and this keyboard does have the springs in the keys, which is good for repairing, but it makes for a very mushy keyboard. Also has a red LED up here and a green LED down here, and it has two connectors instead of the Mitsumi keyboards, which have just one connector, on which you can also convert into an A1200 keyboard. I'm not sure if it works with this one. You have to replace the membrane in here and bring it out here. So yeah, as I said, Samsung keyboard, good for repairs and for maintenance, but not the greatest typing experience. So I will put this together. This is the first fully working Amiga. Just the keys are missing. Just wanted to show you, and more are to come. So this next keyboard is really dirty. This is one of the keys. So you can see it's dusty and grimy and shit. Yeah, let's disassemble this, and this is a second working keyboard. The other one I showed you before. The first one is the second one. It's also a Samsung keyboard, so no springs, or springs inside the keys, which is good. And we have two Mitsumi keyboards, one of which works and one of which does not. No signs of life at all. So I assume it's the keyboard controller up here, which is dead. And yeah, to get these, it's I guess 15 euros or dollars on eBay. So mostly doesn't make sense. I will keep the fourth keyboard for just spares and keys and stuff like that. So let me disassemble this, clean this, and then we have a second working keyboard. Next up we have this memory expansion, which I don't know how much memory it actually expands. Yeah, that was pretty dirty. I did clean it up, and yeah, it looks interesting. So the only thing is the connector is broken here. Pins are still in there, so that might still work. And that cable came off, and that was right here. I will just go and bridge these two pins. So I assume that if these are bridged, that it will work. So I will just bridge this, put it in a machine, and we will see if it works. That's one really tight fit, so can't barely get it in there. So let's plug it in and see what it does. Powers up, but the drive doesn't do anything. So let's take a look at the screen. It's stuck on a white screen or gray screen. Yeah, so the connector broke on another place and here. So I think this connector is just not good. Bad connector. Bad connector. I have to solder a new connector here if I want to use this. I just noticed that this is the only Siemens part here, and I think it's not even the correct part. These are all TMS 4256, and this is a 41256 from Siemens. Yeah, I don't know. Could work, could not work. I have no idea. So for now, this doesn't work, and I will not try any further because the connector is just bad. So let's take a look at the final products. This is machine number 3. Has a okayish keyboard. From the color of the keyboard, I did epoxy this spot here where the case was about to break. It's not broken, it was just about to break. Yeah, and it's in pretty good shape. Everything works perfectly fine. One complete Amiga 500. Next up we have machine number 2, which is in cosmetically better condition, but the keyboard is much more yellowed. These are the original keys, which is a Samsung keyboard. The other one was a Mitsumi keyboard. And yeah, also in very nice shape. Didn't remove these black things here, just didn't take the time. So all the covers are there, and machine works just fine. So second Amiga saved. And then we have the cosmetically in the best condition, also Samsung keyboard, which is, yeah, it is what it is. But the machine itself, the case came out very nicely. This is the one where the logo was painted red. I removed all the red, and now it's just a nice working Amiga 500. So these are 3 of the 4. And you may ask what the hell happened to number 4. Let me show you. So this is machine number 1, or board number 1. And as you can see, it has a yellowed case. I did file this off a little, that it looks a bit better. So I had to epoxy this part here, which was almost cracked. and I think it had a cracked part somewhere. I'm not sure. Let me see the other side. So you can see where I put my epoxy in, right here, and it's totally stable and stiff. This is not going to break anytime soon, so that is very good. That is saved. Yeah, right. It also had a crack right here, and this was actually really cracked, and it's stable now. If you look from the outside, yes, you can see a little crack here, but it's stable. It's not going to break, so this is saved too. But you can see this is still a work in progress. Disk drive is not the disk drive that came with the machine or with the set. I had another spare disk drive which I attached here to test with test kit, and you can see this is board number 1. And this board still has a problem, which is that the mouse cursor always moves down and right. And here's what I did. I did grab this right here, which is the schematic for the Rev 5 Amiga 500, which is exactly this here. And as you can see, here are the joystick ports. Yeah, this is joystick port number 1. I just trace the signal and see where it goes or where it comes from. So it comes from here, of course, because that is where the mouse plugs in and the mouse works. I know that because I tested it on other Amigas and it was just fine. So something between here and where all this goes, which is to the knees, there's happening something. And so I went and I did replace all the components in between. There is, except for these little coils here, which are somewhere here. I did replace this one here, RP401, which is in the schematic up here, and you can see it right here. I did change that. I did change U15, which is this one right here, this IC right here. Then it goes to RP404, which is this one right here, which I changed. And then this goes to RP405, it's over here, which I changed. And then it goes to the knees, which I changed. But still, the thing doesn't work. And to be honest, I'm a bit lost. I have no idea what else could be the problem. I did change one resistor. Let me check. I changed this resistor up here, this blue one, which is EMI 401. And yes, if you look at the markings of the board, this should probably not be a resistor, but if you look at the schematics, you can see that there actually is a resistor. And yeah, so I have no freaking idea what it could be, because I have pretty much done that what I said now. Change the resistor, change this resistor pack, change this IC, change this resistor pack, changed this IC, this resistor pack, and changed this IC. So there's not much in between. So if you have any idea what could be the problem, please let me know in the comments and I will pick this board up again and try to fix it. But for now, I have really no idea. Yeah, so that is pretty much the state of the 4 Amigas, and I think they came out pretty nice. And yeah, I hope that I can fix the 4th one, because that will be my test Amiga. And as you can see, the case is pretty yellowed, but it came out nicely. It's clean, it's good, it works. And if you look, if you take a look from the side, it's also not so horrible. Yeah, it's a huge gap, but it's better than before where it just cracked out here. So I'm pretty happy with this. And just to show you, here's my donor board, which had a black screen, and it took all these RP405, RP404 off of this board here, except for the resistor and the IC, because I ordered new ones. So I have no idea what's going on here. So if you have an idea, please leave a comment. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching Retro is the New Black. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. If you like the video, please share. Every like, share, and comment helps a lot. Until next time, bye-bye.